Those are big deals when those are put out. Uh, but could you just kind of review your credentials briefly for to establish your legitimacy through your authenticity?
Well, in college, I decided I wanted to try to work for the intelligence community. My dad was retired military intelligence, and with my vision problems, I wasn't going to be military. So I went for the intelligence community. I studied several different foreign languages and applied to NSA. They did a thorough background investigation, and as I like to say, found me very boring and very hireable. Um, no drugs, no anything like that. And I started my career there in 1982. Um, I didn't get into trouble somehow until later in my career when I actually did a 6 month series of reports that got kudos, and the Pentagon actually verified that the reports had saved about 2,000 lives. And I had that report hijacked and used to give a double promotion to a woman who was sleeping her way through the managers above me. So when I asked about that, all hell broke loose, and they started to defame and actually stalk and harass me using NSA security. And they ended up, I think the stalking and harassment went from 2006 to 2009 when they put me on administrative leave. I hired a lawyer to sue them. And in 2010, they fired me against the EEOC judge's orders. And that's when I found out, well, a little bit before that, but that's when I found out about NSA and other federal agencies using the FBI fusion centers as vengeance for hire entities. Now, the fusion centers were created after 9/11. You had heads of various intelligence agencies, including NSA, telling the Congress, we don't know what happened. It was uh, an intelligence failure, but we think that if you give us a place in each state, some kind of center where we can fuse information from the national level down to the local level, we can head off these kinds of terrorist attacks. And so at this point in time, after 20 years, there are 80 fusion centers all over the United States. It is a network. And they supposedly are watching for terrorist plots, trying to identify terrorists, et cetera, et cetera. And so far in 22 years, they have found not one terrorist, not one terrorist group, not one terrorist plot, and stopped no terrorist plot whatsoever. And Congress is asking them, what are you doing with the billions of dollars that we give you? And they refuse to tell them. They basically say, you don't have the clearance, so we're not telling you, which is insane. But what they have done is they have created a tier 3 and tier 4 level terrorist list of regular Americans, and they call them non investigative subjects. Well, if these are dangerous people, why are you not investigating them? Why would they be non investigative subjects? Well, because they're fraudulently put on tier 3 and tier 4. Um, and then they are defamed. The fusion center operatives go throughout the neighborhood, show their shiny little badges, and tell them, we have a problem in your neighborhood. You know, John Smith is, we think he's a terrorist, and he has predilections for pedophilia and all kinds of other stuff. And they scare the heck out of these civilians who don't have any idea that they're lying. They do create false dossiers right and left. There are hundreds of thousands of false dossiers. And once they target you, they never let go. They actually go through the neighborhood, tell them, we need you to do this, this, and this to them. And it can be quite petty. Like, Tim, you have to go over and slit John's tire, every Tuesday morning, for $100. We'll give you a gift card. But they can also basically enlist the neighbors to allow or to participate in hitting these people with electromagnetic weapons. These are the types of weapons that hit our diplomats, and they can be quite devastating. They go through almost anything and everything, and you can see my face is swollen. I mean, I'm old, but my face is still swollen from these weapons hitting my home 24/7. And of course, police don't have any idea what you're talking about, or they're told to butt out. So they're using
Yeah,
this
so I
fraud. Go ahead.
I can confirm a lot of what you're saying because I ran the DIA Global Operations Center, which took me to CIA, NSA, all those centers as well. And I worked in a HIDA center, a high intensity drug trafficking area fusion center. So I'm very familiar with that. And at one point, when I had gotten out, I wanted to go up to the Arizona um, Counterterrorism Center, Intelligence Center, because I had some information. This was after the Boston Marathon bombings. I said, I don't trust the FBI anymore. I don't want to, I want to give this to you to give to the fusion center over there directly because I don't want it to go through the Phoebes. And I said, here's my DOB and social. I'm all over JPass. And they put me in, and I came up and the first thing I walked in and said, well, where's the FBI? Well, they're not here. Well, do you guys have clearances so that you can so that you can see classified information? That was the whole point of the fusion centers. Oh no, we don't have those. And then I gave the information, and a couple of days later, I got a call from a Phoebe saying, "Hey, who's your source?" So that right there confirmed everything you are saying about these fusion centers. And also a new wrinkle there is, of course, the manpower issue. How do you have somebody out there every Tuesday to slit the tires? Well, you don't. There aren't that many 1811 agents around. So you get locals, you recruit locals. And that fits a nice little piece for me. But the other piece I want to have you comment on is I've done a lot of stories how I have not revealed any classified information, but because I was top secreted with the DOJ via the DEA, which initially had a phone program to listen to Colombian drug dealers way back, which the CIA took over because the DEA didn't have enough money back then, and now it's blossomed exponentially into a much bigger program, is how that has turned into where you used to have to exclude if they weren't, I'm